Okay, I just got to be extra careful. I got about like a pretty decent amount of time. I'll say around like a good 20 minutes or so until Street Fighter V Arcade Edition is officially done installing into my game. But as you can see right now, I got the hoodie extra tight. I don't have no orange juice, so this is gonna be a serious discussion we finna have here. Now, as you see in the title, this is about BlazBlue Tag Battle and the announcement that Arc System Works had made, to my knowledge, just recently in regards to the roster and the ripoff that they want to call post-game DLC. Like, we're gonna talk about this because understand that I've been playing video games for going on, I would say, 26 years of my entire life. You know, I started playing video games at 3. I'm I'm 28 years old now, so that's around like what, 25 years or so. All right. So being a person who's been playing video games for that long, I mean, I'm a natural born gamer. That's the way I feel it. I've just been playing video games nonstop. And you know it's serious because I got the hoodie extra tight right here. Like, all the way up, and we going in right now. And this is also this video not only is gonna talk about the controversy with that, but it's also gonna touch on, you know, my personal beef that I have with Arc System Works that a lot of you guys know about. And well, some of you guys know about it, a lot of you don't, but it's kind of gonna tie into this. I'm gonna tie it into this. So the announcement was made that the BlazBlue Tag Battle, you know, this was an announcement made at the 2017 edition of the Evo championships, and you know this was announced alongside Geese Howard for. Sorry, you know, always got to be a distraction. Always got to be a distraction. But yeah, this game was announced alongside Geese Howard for Tekken 7, and you know it was announced around that time, same time, and this is like a big, you know, huge deal. You know, the hype was around it, everything. I mean, you're taking characters from BlazBlue, you're taking characters from. What was the name of that game? Under Night in Birth. Almost forgot the name of it. And you're also taking characters from Persona 4 Arena. And the guest characters in this game was going to be from an anime called Ruby. Now, which is RWBY, which is red, white, black, and yellow. You know, that's an anime that I believe that's on like Roster Teeth or something like that. And, you know, like, it's a pretty good anime. I've been watching it recently. But yeah, like, it's real good. But this is like the first time that they're making a video game debut, or at least one in a fighting game. Because I don't know if they have a game out for it or not. But yeah, it was a big announcement, this huge crossover game. You know, people were so hyped that they were talking shit about, you know, because this is around the same time that this was like the announcement for this game was made after Abigail was updated into Street Fighter V. So a lot of people were telling Capcom, like, oh, Capcom, see, this is how you make a fighting game. This is how you make an announcement and all this shit right here. Lo and behold, and I got to be guilty, I was one of them, you know, because at the same time, I mean, you got to be honest. Anybody who knows anything about Arc System Works fighting games, know they make some of the best looking fighting games out there. And, you know, between the Persona 4 Arena, between video games like BlazBlue, I never played Under Night in Birth, but I've seen a lot of gameplay videos of it. And, you know, all these games look pretty well put together. It's like they put some time, thought, effort into making these games. So when you look at that and you look at what they did, it pales, it mind boggles me that they would take the turn that they're making with this new tag battle game. And basically what the announcement was is that the main roster is going to be 20 characters. That's going to be the base roster. But they announced that, and mind you, this is before the game launched. They announced that they were going to be releasing an additional 20 characters as DLC. And to put even more of a of a I don't know how to put it, even more of a, like, because when you think about it, like, you couldn't think another company could fuck up this bad after Capcom when they did that whole on disc the whole on disc DLC with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. You would have thought that other companies would have learned their lesson. No, Arc System Works, you taking this to, like, Capcom was right here and they just lowered the bar a little bit more, like. But anyway, they decided that they were going to release the characters in volumes, as they say, volumes. And these are like multiple volumes, not one, not two, not three, but it was like a long list of volumes that they were going to release the characters in. And I don't know if they were going to do 3 at a time or 4 at a time, because I didn't stay around, like, I didn't read it for that long. But just seeing that long list of different, like, the volumes were almost like character packages. Like, you get like this amount of characters in this package, this amount of characters in this package, which is the way that I've seen that it seems like they're going to do it. And, like I said, I've been playing video games for so long, and fighting games in particular for probably, fighting games is probably like my first experience with, well, let me take, it was, Activision Boxing on the Atari 2600, that's a fighting game. So fighting games have been a part of my life, since I started playing video games at 3. And I've played, with the exception of the ColecoVision and the Jaguar, I've played every system known to man up until now. And I've pretty much touched on every fighting game, even Japanese imports that never came to the United States. I played those. And they always have this silver lining about them. And this is how you know if a game is going to be good or not. I don't know if kids these days know about this, but we used to look on the back of the case, and the case used to tell you all the information about the game. And one thing that what fighting games used to do in particular, and this is how you always knew that they were, this is going to be like a nice fighting game, is that they always had this one silver lining. They always bragged about how many characters they were going to have in the game. No video game that had less than, let me see, because I would say that Marvel vs. Capcom 2, even up until that point, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 set a standard for how many characters should be in a fighting game. And that kind of spoiled people to the point where if you wasn't even trying to match that, nobody didn't even want to fuck with you, like fuck with your game. Like, it was kind of hesitant. And they knew that. So you had some companies that when they made a fighting game, they wouldn't announce how many characters are on there. They would try to big it up in other ways. Like, oh, the graphics for this is so great. And it's like, okay, yeah, but how many characters are on the roster? Because I don't want to buy it if it ain't got at least, half as much as they had on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That was a thing for a while, during the time of the PlayStation 2. And, yeah, man, it was just one of those things where, that was the deciding factor for a lot of people whether or not they were going to buy your fighting game. So looking at that and bringing it all the way up until now, I feel like, the world has been spoiled. And when they say that we live in the best of times and the worst of times, that's actually pretty true. The best of times is because we are so far advanced in technology, you wouldn't think that we'd still be dealing with, like, the glitches and the game bugs that we're dealing in video games, and dealing with the shady business practices of, say, like, with games like Street Fighter Cross Tekken and the whole DLC controversy with that. And I still give a thumbs up to the hackers that hacked that game and proved that Capcom was just a lying piece of shit. And, Capcom has had close eyes on them from the public ever since. And now we got this Arc System Works controversy, which takes which Capcom did. What Arc System Works is doing with this BlazBlue tag battle, they taken what Street Fighter Cross Tekken, that controversy around that game, and they just brought it to an all new low. Because how do you sit there and release a game with 20 base characters, and then on top of that, just to be so arrogant as to think that people are willing to pay for an additional 20 characters? For a fact that they're taking characters that they already have builds for, and they're putting it aside for DLC. Like, what the fuck, man? It's not like Arc System Works is mixing in 3 different games that they already got full rosters for already. So it's not like they're doing extra work to put these characters in the game. You know what I mean? The only characters that you can honestly say that they're making effort because like they got to make like like they got to make sprites for it. They got to make moves up for the characters, or the characters from Ruby, because they haven't been in any fighting game. I don't know. I got some type of message. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I got we had characters from a fighting game. I don't know, what is that? I don't know what it is, but yeah, the characters from a fighting game, are the characters from Ruby. They're the only ones you actually got to put effort into. So why would you take 20 characters, probably like the most notable characters from the series, put them in your base roster, and then just hand pick 20 other ones from all across each fighting game, and then put it aside for DLC, and then announce it before the game is launched. So now we know you bullshitting. We know you bullshitting now, because what company announces DLC before the game actually comes out and be so arrogantly as to say that it's going to be 20 characters? Like, that's insane. I don't know if they're trying to set a record with having the most DLC characters released after the launch, or I don't like. I'm not understanding what's going on here. The logic behind this don't even make sense. The way that they can fix this, because I'm not going to sit here and talk shit about them, just because of my history with them, which I'm gonna get into that for a minute, in a minute. But I'm kind of cold right now, so I'm shivering. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about a solution. Like, I'm just not gonna sit here and just shit on them. Here's the thing: if they would have did, and this would be a much better idea compared to what they're doing now, and I mean much better. If you put the base roster of the characters in your game at 20, but let's say you have different methods to unlock, the other two. Like, you can have like a good, let me say, you can put characters like the base roster at 20 and have the other 20 just unlockable in game, just by you just playing the fighting game, just whatever. Basically, pretty much like the same way they did Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like, just have like a point system or something along the lines of that, to where you can unlock it, but don't have it as bare bones as Marvel vs. Capcom 2 though, because that was the one complaint I had about that game, was that it was extremely bare bones. They didn't really have anything else to offer outside of just like a versus mode. You know what I mean? But then again, look at the time that game was released in. It was basically made for, like couch co-op. It wasn't made for like, online play, because online play wasn't a big deal back then during the PlayStation 2. But it could be something along the lines of that. Put a good 20 characters that's already unlocked in the game. That's going to be your base roster, and then have the other 20 unlockable in game, and then release the Ruby characters as DLC. Considering that you actually got to work to put effort into making those. The other characters, you can just pull the sprites from the same game. I mean, hell, look, you're using the same design. You use the same design for every last single video game. I mean, the same color shading, the same background techniques. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these characters are already made. Now, you might have to tweak them here and there to try to make them to fit into this tag system that you have going on, and to make balances and things like that. But other than that, you already have the it's like you're trying to sell us characters as DLC for games that already have them in there on disc. So here's what I want. I want you guys to spread this video out. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel and all that. This is the most genuine channel on YouTube, the most genuine gaming channel on YouTube. I'll be damned if anybody else say that, because they can't challenge me on that, because I am the realest. Now, pass this video around. Whoever those hackers were that hacked into Street Fighter Cross Tekken and found out that they had on-disc DLC that Capcom was trying to sell, hack into this game. Hack into it. See if the 20 characters that they're trying to pass off as DLC are already on there. Because I'm actually curious. If anybody buys this game and you're a hacker, hack into this game and see if those characters are already on the roster. Expose this shit because, you know, I'm already iffy about Dragon Ball Fighters. You know, they jacked up the price tag on like the deluxe edition of that game, and that's just like stupid. You get 8 new characters as a post-game DLC, not announcing when they're going to release the characters. Of course, but you know it's a new game for Arc System Works, and I think Dragon Ball Fighters gave them a way to test a tag system before they released it with their own characters in their own game. Like they're using their own characters from their own franchises, and they're not taking something from like a Dragon Ball Z game or whatever, an anime, to try to live up to the hype of that anime. So this is them actually getting the chance to use their own characters in something they probably always wanted to do anyway. But at the same time, it's like, dude, don't try to bullshit us. It's like you're bullshitting us. You're telling us you're going to bullshit us, and then you show us the bullshit, and we just got to take it. Like, what the fuck? Like, really? Like, really? That's what the fuck we doing? It's the garbage man. But, exactly. Like, that's where that game, that's where the whole announcement belongs, right there in the trash. The irony of the garbage man coming right now. The irony of the garbage man passing by right now. Look. I don't know how well you can see that. Most definitely. But yeah, it's the garbage man right there. I hope that camera wasn't too high. Yeah, he's passing by right now, so. But most definitely, bro. Like, that's just like, it's just too funny to think that y'all would make this shit. And I normally would have like the, because I had like a new setup and all that and everything like that. But this, like, I was just like, man, you know what, man? Damn the entertainment factor. Like, we just got to be real on this one. Like, I can't see myself buying this game. And unless they make a drastic change and announce that, okay, like, fuck the DLC, we're going to put the other characters, the other 20 characters that we had in the game, we're going to put those in the main roster as well, but they're going to be unlockable, in-game, as well as, like, we're going to make the Ruby characters, because the Ruby characters is DLC, like, I would actually pay for that. Because, like I said, they've never been in a fighting game before. You don't know what they have to offer in a fighting game. They weren't in any past, at least to my knowledge, that they haven't been in a video game at all. I could be wrong about that. But they haven't been in a fighting game setting. You know what I mean? So that's actually something to pay for. With the other characters, we already have them in past video games. All you got to do is edit them to fit what's going on in the tag battle system. So it's little to no effort that you got to do with that, in comparison to what you would have to do with the Ruby characters, because you got to build them up from scratch. The other characters are already made, so it's like you're trying to charge us post-game DLC for characters that already exist. In many ways, this is similar to the Street Fighter Cross Tekken controversy. It's just like, man, it's stupid. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends about this channel and all that. And all that goodness. Did the garbage man just pass up my trash can? Like, really, dude? Never mind, we're gonna call him later. But yeah, man, it's just like, just enough of that bullshit, bro. Like, enough of it. And I normally don't want to curse or nothing like that, but bro, like, really, enough is enough. Enough is enough, man. We gotta stop this. I can't support this game. Don't ask me to play it. Don't ask me to buy it unless they make a drastic change, and completely do like an Xbox 180 type of deal where they fix this controversy and correct the mistakes. Like, take my suggestion. I don't care. It's a freebie. Put the 20 characters that you were already going to have in the game unlocked. Make that the base character for the game, and then have people unlock the other 20 in game and have people pay for the Ruby characters. Simple solution. So that's my thoughts on it. Peace, and I'll see you guys for Street Fighter Arcade Edition. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys then.